Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel and to some more turkey patterning, and today we've got another interesting combo to try out with the shell that's pretty new to the market that we've tested a couple times here recently, and it has struggled a good bit. So maybe today's combo might be something that they like, or we could continue the same little bit disappointing trajectory that we've kind of been on with these shells so far. It has the potential to go either way, but they're a pretty new shell that we haven't tested a ton of them yet, so we at least got to give them their fair chance to see what they can actually do. Before the loads I've got today, I brought out some more of the Verdict Juror lead loads. These ones are their 12 gauge, 3.5 inch, 2 ounce payload of 5 shot at about 1200 feet per second. Like I just mentioned, we've been testing some of these new Juror lead loads, and they have struggled a good bit in our testing so far. They've always technically been usable enough at 40 yards, but for just shy of like $30 a box, at that price, you can buy a box of Longbeard XR lead loads and get double the amount of shells, since these are only 5-round boxes for that same price. So are they actually worth it? That's yet to be determined really, but we'll see what these can do through today's choke combo. As for today's setup, I brought out the Mossberg 835 Ulti-Mag. It's got a 28-inch barrel on it, and we're going to be running this Primos Jellyhead 690 constriction. This choke has shown us some good results with lead before, but we haven't tested it with these particular loads, and it's a little bit more open of a constriction as well at 690 compared to the 675 Indian Creek that we previously tested. So will the little bit less constriction actually help them perform? It's a possibility for sure, but we'll see what we can get. So as for today's test, everything is set up the same as usual. Got the turkey paper at 40 yards and the chrono so we can get our velocity. So let's get you guys a view of that target. We'll take our shot and we'll see what these Verdict Juror loads can actually do through this 690 Jellyhead choke. I have my reservations coming into it. It's probably going to be usable, but how good is it actually going to be? I guess we'll just have to try it. So let's take our shot and see what we get. Alright, that shell gave us 1153 through the chrono. Boss claim is 1200, but I believe we saw mid 1100s last time we tested these as well. So I don't think it's anything out of the ordinary, although we are not quite seeing their claim. But still, mid 1100s is perfectly fine for a lead 5 out to 40 yards all day long. But did they actually give us a decent pattern or not? Let's go check it out and see. Alright, well, now we're down here at our 40-yard paper, and we actually see some okay results here overall. First off, yes, we do indeed have a dead bird at 40 yards. There's 2 through the brain and another 1 or 2 down the spine that would have done the job, and there's nowhere left, right, up, or down he can move to and get away from you through that pattern. So yes, it is absolutely a capable enough 40-yard turkey pattern. But we'll back up here and give our initial thoughts on looking at the pattern as a whole, and it's okay. It's actually a usable enough 40-yard turkey pattern, and it is way better than what we had previously seen from these shells. So maybe at least the 3.5 inch ones might prefer a little less constriction. But moving back in to look at it a little bit closer, we don't really have any super noticeable core area to it. There might be a little bit of a thin area right up close to the top edge of that turkey target there. We might have favored just a hair high overall as well, but I don't think it really mattered because most of our pattern kind of looks the same until you get all the way to the outskirt edges, where you definitely throw a handful of strings and flyers around there as well. So it is not a perfect turkey pattern. It's not the best lead pattern we've seen by a long shot. That still absolutely goes to the Longbeard XR shells, but I would say this is pretty much on par with something like a Remington turkey load would be. Which brings me to one of the little complaints that I have with these shells. They aren't any kind of amazing performers, at least not in our testing with them so far. Now yes, this is not a terrible pattern by any means. There are an awful lot of turkeys that have fallen to patterns like that, don't get me wrong. That's more than capable. But I just don't know that the value proposition for these is there yet. The performance is iffy at best. It seems to be okay when you find the right choke, but when you can spend the same amount of money, just shy of $30, and get double the shells, if you buy a box of Winchester Longbeard XR loads, you can literally go to Walmart and pick one up today and have a way better performing shell than that. So double the shells for the same price and essentially double the performance of that. Does it make these shells worth it or not? For me, no. but at the very least, we might be on the right track to getting a decent turkey pattern here. This is okay. It's perfectly serviceable, but it's no better than some of the cheap shells that are right on the store shelf available today that you can just go pick up and not even have to deal with shipping and taxes and stuff like that are associated with ordering something online. So we're still in kind of a middle ground here. I'm actually okay with this pattern. If this is what I had, I wouldn't hesitate to run it. If there's somebody that prefers a little more leeway in their pattern, that might be exactly what they're looking for. It's plenty capable, but I just don't know that they're actually worth it just yet, especially with how finicky they've been to get to pattern well. So we might be on the right track. Opening up the choke a little might help them out, at least in the 12 gauge 3.5 inch loads, because this is a perfectly usable turkey pattern, but it's nothing over the top special to write home about either, for sure. And here's the wad from that shell. Nothing fancy to see, nothing special or out of the ordinary going on, nothing stuck down in there, no major damage or anything like that. So looks fine, and I think it did its job pretty well, all things considered today, with the performance we've been seeing from these shells. Alright y'all, well, what did you think about that result right there? That's a solid lead turkey pattern. It's not terrible by any means. We've seen tremendously worse, and we've seen worse from these shells, for sure. So this isn't bad. If you center that up, out to 40 yards, there's not going to be a turkey that ever makes it through that. Obviously, lead is not TSS. It's not going to perform the same as TSS does in the pattern realm. And really, still, the Longbeard XR loads are kind of the gold standard when it comes to a lead shell. They will outperform pretty much everything, unless you specifically dial in a hand load on your own time that you can get to match that kind of performance. This is about average for the vast majority of other lead shells out there. The Super X, the Double X, the Remingtons, they all perform about like that. And there's been an awful lot of turkeys that have fallen to those shells. So these would be no different. Just comes down to the value proposition. Is it worth it to buy 5 shells for the same price as you could 10 right off the store shelf today and have to order it and wait for it and pay the extra shipping and stuff like that? Or just go to Walmart and pick up something they've got on the shelf for $11.99 and get 10 shells? For me, probably still not worth it. Although, if that's what somebody gave me and I was getting that kind of pattern, yeah, I would run it out to 40 yards and feel confident in it. So, not bad overall. And if anything, we might be on the right track here, finding what these shells prefer, because they are still a new shell to the market, and we haven't done a ton of testing with them yet. So we have to give them their fair shot. But leave all your thoughts down below. Is that about what you expected to see? Were you a little surprised one way or the other? Have you tested any of these new Verdict Juror lead loads? And if so, what kind of results have you seen? Is that a pattern or combo you would hunt with if you're getting that kind of result? Or would you prefer to see it a little tighter or run a Longbeard load? What do you think about the value proposition of these shells? Are they worth it over something else that you can go get off the store shelf? And what other choke combos do you want to see us run these loads through that you think might be a good performer? Let me know all that down below. But with that being said, I've got some more testing to get done for you guys, so I'm going to get back to it. As always, we have the channel Instagram as well as the mailbox where you can send stuff if you'd like. All the information will be in the description if you're interested in it, but I'm going to get back to it, so I'll see y'all in the next one.